बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे साकर शेलडिनो स्वादत दीने साकर शेलडिनो स्वादत दीने गडवोली मडो बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे चांदा सूरजनु तेजत जीने चांदा सूरजनु तेजत जीने आगिय संगाते प्रीत जोड़ मारे आगिय संगाते प्रीत जोड़ मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे हीरा माणिक झवेरत जीने हीरा माणिक झवेरत जीने कथीर संगाते मडी तोळ मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज मीरा कहे प्रभु गिरिधर नागर मीरा कहे गिरिधर नागर शरीर आप्यों सम तोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे बोल मारे राधे कृष्ण बिना बीज बोल मारे मेरा के लाल गिरिधर गोपाल की जय। The 16th chapter continued here. Qualities of the ignorant is explained. Dambho darpobhimanascha क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थ संपदमासुरीं दैवी संपद्विमोक्षाय निबधायासुरीमताः मा शुचः संपदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव। Arrogance, pride, anger, harshness and ignorance. These, Arjuna, are the marks of one who is born with demoniacal properties. Divine virtues are regarded as conducive to liberation, and demoniacal properties are conducive to bondage. Grieve not, Arjuna, for you are born with the divine virtues. Dyaubhuta sargo lokesmin daiva asura eva cha daivi vistam parthameshram. Arjuna, in this world there are two types of men, divine and demoniacal. The divine type has been described at length. Hear from me the demoniacal also. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha न शौचम नापि चाचारो न सत्यम तेषु विद्यते असत्यम अप्रतिष्ठम ते जगदाहुर ईश्वरम अपरस्पर संभूतम किमन्यात्मम अहैतुकम. Men belonging to the demoniac group know not what is right activity and what is right cessation of activity. Hence they possess neither purity internal or external, nor good conduct nor truth. They say the world is without any foundation and altogether false, godless, and brought about by mutual union of man and woman. What else? Etam drishtim avashtabhya nashtatmano alpabuddhayah prabhavantyugra karmanaha క్షయాయ జగతో అహితాః కామమాశ్రిత్య దుష్పూరం దంభమాన మదాన్వితాః మోహాద్ గృహీత్వా సద్గ్రాహం ప్రవర్తంతే అశుచివ్రతాః. Embracing this view, these lost souls with little understanding, ill-disposed and devoted to cruel actions, are born for the destruction of the world. Possessed of hypocrisy, conceit and arrogance, and given to insatiable passion, and adopting false doctrines due to delusion, they take to action with impure vows. చింతామపరిమేయం చ ప్రళయాంతాముపాశ్రితాః కామోపభోగపరమా ఏతా వదితి నిష్ఠితాః ఆశాపాశశతైర్బద్ధాః కామక్రోధపరాయణాః ఇహంతే కామభోగార్థం అన్యాయేనార్థసంజయాన్. Giving themselves over to endless cares terminating only with death, and given to the enjoyment of sensuous pleasures, they believe the highest limit of joy to consist only in this. Held in bondage by 100 ties of expectation, given over to passion and anger, they strive to obtain by unlawful means hoards of money for the enjoyment of sensuous pleasures. Idamadhyamaya labdham imam prapsyase manoratham idamasmi idamapi me bhavishyati punardhanam asau maya hatah shatrur hanishye chaparanipi ishvaro aham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi आड्योभि जनवानस्मिन् खोन्योस्मि सदृशो मया यक्षे दास्यामि मुदिश्य इत्यज्ञान विमोहिताः. This has been won by me today, that ambition I shall realize now. This wealth is mine already, and that will be mine again. This enemy has been already disposed of by me, and I shall make short work of others also. I am the Lord, I am God, I am the enjoyer, I am perfect, powerful and happy. అనేక చిత్త విభ్రాంత మోహజాల సమావృతాః ప్రసక్తాః కామభోగేషు పతంతి నరకేషు చ. I am wealthy, I am high-born, who else is like unto me? I shall perform sacrifices, give alms and rejoice. Thus deluded by ignorance, bewildered by numerous thoughts, enmeshed of the web of delusion and addicted of the enjoyment of pleasures, men of demoniacal nature fall into the foulest hell. Atma sambhavitaah stabdha dhanamanamadhanvitaah yajante nama yajnaiste dambhena vidipurvakam. Self-important, unbending, filled with the intoxication of wealth and honor, performing nominal sacrifices for show and contrary to scriptural ordinance. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samsritaah mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaah tanaham dvishatah kruran samsareshu naradhaman क्षिपाम्यजस्त्र मशुभानासुरेष्व्य योनिषु आसुरीं योनिमापन्ना मूढ़ा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्रायैव कौन्तेय ततो यन्त्याधमां गतिम्. Given over to egoism, violence, insolence, passion and anger, these malicious persons hate me that dwell in their bodies and the bodies of others as well as in their own. These haters, evil, cruel and vilest among men, I repeatedly throw into demoniacal wombs in this world. Arjuna cast into demoniacal wombs, birth after birth. These fools, attaining not to me, sink into still lower depths. Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nashanamaatmanaha kamaha krodastata lobhas tasmade tatrayam kyajet yevair vimuktah kaunteya tamodvaraistribhirnarah आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयस्ततो याति परां गतिम्. Passion, anger and greed, these constitute the triple gates to hell, leading to the damnation of the soul. Therefore one should shake off all these three. A man released from these three gates to hell, Arjuna, works his own salvation and thereby reaches the highest goal, the liberation. यह शास्त्र विधिर मृत्यु यह शास्त्र विधि मृत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्. तस्मात् शास्त्र प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्य व्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुं निहार्हसि. He who, having cast aside the injunctions of the scriptures, acts according to his own sweet will, attains not perfection, nor the highest goal, nor even happiness. Therefore, let the scripture be your authority in determining what ought to be done and what ought not to be done. Knowing this, you should do here only such actions as are sanctioned by scriptural ordinance. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayaha. Thus in the Upanishad, sung by the Lord, the science of Brahman, the scripture on yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, hence the 16th chapter entitled The Yoga of Division Between the Divine and the Demoniacal Properties. Oh. Gopala Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Om Shanti 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 Hari. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai He Krishna Jai Jai He Shama Jai Jai Madhava Mukunda Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda He Krishna Jai Jai Madhava Mukunda Hari Govinda Jai Jai Madhava Mukunda Hari Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Gopal 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 Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Mahagadapati Swami ki Jai. Now we enter into chapter 17 by the grace of Krishna. This is Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the triple types of faiths. It begins with the question of Arjuna. Arjuna Vacha Ye Shastra Vidhi Mritsrajya Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesham nishtatu ka Krishna Satvamaho Rajastamaha. Arjuna said, Krishna, those who endowed with faith worship the Devas, casting aside scriptural injunctions. Where do they stand, Krishna? In Sattva, Rajas or Tamas? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Svabhavajam Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetimam Chetitam Shranu Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetitam Shranu. Sri Bhagavan said that innate faith of men is of three kinds, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. Hear about it from me. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddhamayo yam purusho yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. This is one of the key words of the Gita. Arjuna, the faith of each is shaped to his own mental constitution. Faith constitutes the very being of man. Therefore, whatever the nature of his faith, that verily he is. A wonderful utterance comes, Song of Tukaram, which mentions that body is pure, that word is pure, that heart and mind are pure, where the name of Achyuta, God, dwells always. Pavitra to deh, Vani punyavanta, Pavitra to deh, Vani punyavanta, Jovade Achyuta, Sarvakala, Jovade Achyuta, Sarvakala, Pavitra to deh, Vani punyavanta, Pavitra to deh. तयाच्या चिंतने तरतील दोषी जळतील राशी पातकांता पवित्र तुझे वाणी पुण्यवंत पवित्र तुझे वाणी पुण्यवंत देव इच्छिरद चरणीची माती धावत चालती मागे मागे पवित्र तुझे पुण्यवंत पवित्र तुझे काय त्या उरले वेगळे आणिक वैकुंठ नायक वैकुंठ नायक वैकुंठ नायक जया कंठी वैकुंठ नायक जया कंठी पवित्र तुझे वाणी पुण्यवंत पवित्र तुझे वाणी पुण्यवंत तुका म्हणे देवा देव हे वैकुंठ नारायण 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 रे तुका म्हणे देवा भक्ताचा संगम तेथे उघनाम त्रिवेणीचा पवित्र तुझे पुण्यवंत पवित्र तुझे वाणी पुण्यवंत जोवदे अच्युत जोवदे अच्युत सर्व काळ अच्युतानंत गोविंद गोविंद अच्युतानंत गोविंद गोविंदा अच्युतानंत गोविंद गोविंदा अच्युतानंत गोविंद गोविंदा अच्युतानंत गोविंद इंदिरारमण गोविंदा गोविंद. Such people are walking abode of God. For their faith is completely, wholehearted, established in truth or God. Yajanti satvika devan yaksharakshamsi rajasaha. Yaksharakshamsi rajasaha pretan bhutaganaschanye yajante tamasa janaha. Ashastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapojana. Dambha ahankara sanyuktaha kama raga balanvitaha. Men of sattvic disposition worship the gods or the angels. Those of a rajasic disposition worship yakshas and rakshasas, while others of a tamasic disposition worship evil spirits and ghosts. Men who perform austere penance, not enjoined by the scriptures, and are full of hypocrisy and egoism, and possessed of attachment, desire and pride of power, karshayantaha sharirastham bhutagrama machetasaha mam chaivanta sharirastham tan vidyasura nishchayan aharastvapi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha yajnastapastatha danam tesham bhedamimam srinuh आयु सत्व बलारोग्य सुख प्रीति विवर्धनाः रस्याः स्निग्धाः स्थिरा हृद्या आहाराः सात्विक प्रियाः. And who torment the aggregate of elements that constitute the body, and me who dwell in the inner body, know those ignorant people to be of demoniacal resolve. Arjuna, the food also which is dear to all, according to their respective nature, is of three kinds. Even so, sacrifice, penance, and charity are of three kinds. Here their distinction as follows. Foods which promote longevity, intelligence, strength, health, happiness and delight, which are sweet, bland, nourishing and agreeable, are dear to the sattvic type of persons. Katva, amala, lavana, atyushna, tikshna, rukshavidahinaha. Rukshavidahinaha ahara rajasasyeshta dukkha shokamaya pradaha. Foods which are bitter, acid, too much salted, very, very hot, pungent, dry, burning, and giving rise to pain, grief, illness, are dear to rajasic type of men. Now hear from me the tamasic nature. Yatayamam katarasam paryushitam chayat uchishtam apichamedhyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Food which is half cooked, insipid, putrid, stale and polluted, and also impure, is very dear to the tamasic type of men. Aphala kankshibhiri yajno vididrashto yajjate yastavya meveti manaha samadhaya sattvikaha. The sacrifice which is offered as enjoined by scriptural ordinance by men having no desire for fruit, under the firm belief that it is a duty which must be performed, is the sattvic type of sacrifice. In this context, the immortal Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj teaches that those who really desire for moksha or liberation, they have to meditate on God with bhakti. Mukti pavavaya करिजे हरि भक्ति, करिजे हरि भक्ति, करिजे हरि भक्ति, करिजे हरि भक्ति. हरीच विरक्ती प्रगटेल मुक्ती पावावया, करिजे हरि भक्ती. विरक्ती विषयी होतासी विचार, नित्य हे नैश्वर ओळखती ओळखती. तेव्हा आत्मज्ञान अनुभव होय, अनुभव होय. अविद्यत्व जाय जीवरूप, अविद्यत्व जाय जीवरूप. मुक्ती पावावया, करिजे हरि भक्ती, हरीच विरक्ती प्रगटेल. शांति क्षमा दया तिष्ठति सहज, शांति क्षमा दया रामा 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 रामा. शांति क्षमा दया तिष्ठति सहज, नदी से दृश्य काज जगावारे. गुरु कृपा द्वारे लाजिले पैसिद्धी, बोलिला त्रिशुद्धी संत ज्ञानेश्वर. बोलिला त्रिशुद्धी ज्ञानेश्वर, ज्ञानेश्वर. मुक्ती पावावया, करिजे हरि भक्ती. विठ्ठल बोला विठ्ठल, पांडुरंग विठ्ठल, पांडुरंग पंढरीनाथ विठ्ठल. राम राम विठ्ठल, श्याम श्याम विठ्ठल, जय जय विठ्ठल. हर विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल, जय गुरु विठ्ठल जय जय विठ्ठल. ज्ञानदेव विठ्ठल, नामदेव विठ्ठल, एकनाथ विठ्ठल, तुकाराम विठ्ठल, विठ्ठल विठ्ठल विठ्ठल. पंढरीनाथ भगवान जय. ब्रजवासी बंसी लाल की. अभिसंधाय तु फलं दंभार्थमपि चैव यत्, युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठत्वं, युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसं. That sacrifice, however, which is offered with a view to fruit and also for the sake of ostentation, know it to be rajasic, Arjuna. विधिहीन मसृष्टान्नम, मंत्रहीनम अदक्षिणम, श्रद्धा विरहितम यज्ञम तामसम परिचक्षते. देवद्विज गुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनम शौचमार्जवम, ब्रह्मचर्यम अहिंसां च शरीरम तपवुच्यते. अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यम सत्यम प्रियहितं च यत्, स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वांग्यम तपवुच्यते. That sacrifice is said to be tamasic, which is without sanction of the scriptures. in which no food is distributed, no sacred formula is chanted, and no fees are paid to the officiating priests, and which is devoid of faith. The worship of gods, brahmanas, elders, and the wise, purity, straightness, continence, and non-violence. These are called the austerity of the body. Unoffensive, truthful, agreeable, and wholesome speech, and practice of study of the sacred text and japa of the divine name. These are called austerity of speech. Manaha prasadaha saumyatvam maunamatma vinigraha bhava samshuddhirityeta tapo manasa uchyate. Cheerfulness of mind, serenity, habit of meditation on God, self-control, and purity of heart. These are called austerity of the mind. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividam narayehi aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. This threefold penance performed with supreme faith by yogis, having no desire for fruit, is said to be sattvic. Satkaramana pujartham tapo dambhena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam. Mudagrahenatmano yatpidya kriyate tapaha parasyotsādhanārtham vā tattāmasa mudāhritam. The penance which is performed with the object of winning respect, honor and worship and for ostentation, which is unstable and transitory in effect, is said to be rajasic. The penance done under the deluded understanding with torture to the mind, senses and body, or with the object of causing injury to another, is said to be tamasic. Dātavyamiti yad dānam dīyate anupakārine deshe kāle ca patre ca tad dānam satvikam smritam. The gift which is made to one who does nothing in return, with the idea that it is one's duty to give, and with due regard to the place, time, and recipient of the gift, is said to be sattvic. In this context, Sri Purandara Dasa and other great saints sing the power of this dana. Danave bhushana yaradu hastangalge yaradu hastangalge maninige bhushana pativrtya. Danave bhushana yaradu hastangalge manave bhushana manavarige manavarige. Dhanave bhushana muniyogi vararinge dhanave dhanave bhushana ಧ್ಯಾನವೇ ಭೂಷಣ ಮುನಿಯೋಗಿ ವರರಿಂಗೆ ಮಾನಿನಿಗೆ ಭೂಷಣ ಪಾತಿವ್ರತ್ಯ. ಭೂಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಭೂಷಣ ಭೂಷಣ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿವಾಸ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ. ಭೂಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಭೂಷಣ ಭೂಷಣ. ರಂಗನನು ನೋಡುವುದೇ ಕಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಭೂಷಣ ರಂಗನನು ನೋಡುವ ಬೋಲೆ ಗಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗನನು ಶ್ರೀ ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗನನು ರಂಗನನು ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗನನು ನೋಡುವುದೇ ಗಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಭೂಷಣ ಮಂಗಳಾಂಗಗೆ ಮಣಿಯೇ ಚಿರಭೂಷಣ ಶೃಂಗಾರ ತುಳಸಿ ಮಣಿ ಕೊರಳಿಗೆ ಭೂಷಣ ರಂಗ ವಿಠಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಾಮವೇ ಭೂಷಣ 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 ಇದು ಭೂಷಣ ರಾಮ ರಾಮ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಗೋ ಯತ್ತು ಪ್ರತ್ಯುಪಕಾರಾರ್ಥಂ ಫಲಬುದ್ಧಿಶ್ಚ ವಾ ಪುನಃ ದೀಯತೆ ಚ ಪರಿಕ್ಲಿಷ್ಟಂ ತದ್ದಾನಂ ರಾಜಸಂಸ್ಮೃತಂ ಅದೇಶಕಾಲೇ ಯದ್ದಾನಮಪಾತ್ರೇಭ್ಯಶ್ಚ ದೀಯತೆ ಅಸತ್ಕೃತಮವಜ್ಞಾತಂ ತತ್ತಾಮಸಮುದಾರತಂ. The gift, however, which is made in a grudging mood, with the object of getting some service in return, or with a view to gain, is said to be rajasic. The gift which is made at an improper place and time and in a disrespectful and insulting manner to undeserving persons is said to be tamasic. Om Tat Saditi Nirdesho Brahmanas Trividasmrataha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajnascha Vihita Pura. Om Tat Sat. This is declared to be the threefold designation of the Absolute. At the beginning of creation, the Brahmans and the Vedas and sacrifices were created by Om Tat Sat, the Absolute. Tasmad Om Ityudahritya Yajnadana Tapakriyaha Pravartante Vidhanoktaha Satadam Brahmavadinam Taditya Nabhisandhaya Phalam Yajna Tapakriyaha Dana Kriyascha Vividhaha Kriyante Mokshakankshivihi. Therefore, acts of sacrifice, gift and penance, as enjoined by the scriptures, are always commenced with the utterance of the word Om by those who are entitled to chant the Vedas, with the idea that everything belongs to him, Tat. The various acts of sacrifice, penance and gift are performed by the seekers of liberation without desiring any fruit in return. Sadbhave sadhubhave cha sadityetat prayujyate prashaste karmani tatha satchabdah partha yujyate yajne tapasi dane cha stitihi सीदिति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयं सदित्येवाभिधीयते. The divine name Sat is employed in the sense of truth and goodness. Even so, Arjuna, the term Sat is used in the sense of a praiseworthy act. Steadfastness in sacrifice, penance and gift is also designated as Sat. And verily, action for the sake of Him, the Supreme Being, He is termed as Sat. This is why the immortal sages and saints who meditate on Om Tat Sat, they are able to see God in everything, everywhere and always. Narsi Bhagat, who attained that perfection through Om Tat Sat, sings in this great song in Gujarati language. Akhila Brahmandama Ekatu Sri Hari युजवे रूपे अनंत भास देहमा देवतु तेजमा तत्वतु शून्यमा शब्द थई वेदवासे ब्रह्मांडमा एक तू श्री अनंत भास युजवे रूपे अनंत पवनतु पाणितु भूमितु भूधरा वृक्षथई फूली रहो आकाशे विविध रचना करी अनेक रसले वाण शिवथकी जीवथयो ये ज आशे ब्रह्मांडमा एक तुम श्री हरि युजवे रूपे अनंत भास वेद तो ये मवदे श्रुति स्मृति साखदे कनक कुंडल विषे वेदनो ऊट घड़िया पशी नाम रूप जूजवा नाम रूप जूजवा अंते तो हे मनु हे महो ये अखिल ब्रह्मांडमा एक तुम श्री हरि जूजवे रूपे अनंत भास वृक्षमा बीजतु बीजमा वृक्षतु जो पटंतरो ये जपासे भणे नर संयो ये मन तणी शोधना प्रीत करो प्रेम थी प्रगट थाशे ब्रह्मांडमा एक तुम श्री हरि युजवे रूपे अनंत भास राधे 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 श्याम राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे श्याम गोविंद राधे श्याम गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद राधे गोपाल राधे राधे गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे श्याम राधे श्याम युगल किशोर की जय अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत्प्रेय नो इह Arjuna's sacrifice, gift and penance and any other action done without faith is declared as asat or non-existent. It is not here or hereafter. Om Tat Satiti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastri Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Saptadashodhyaya. Thus in the Upanishad, sung by the Lord, the science of Brahman, the scripture on yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 17th chapter entitled of the threefold faith. Harinath Bhagavan ki jai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.